As time passed, I began to learn my way around the area and would go sit in the middle of 96th Street to decompress, as well as one of my favorite places, Central Park. I would always go there to meditate, be free in the wild, usually in like the wood-like areas where nobody really was. That's where I would go chiefing, hugging, and running through the trees to get myself centered, because being a spiritual sponge and an empath can be quite overwhelming in such highly capacitated environments. If you know, you know. Come to find out, my homegirls were chiefers too. So we would go get some good eats, blow it down so the stress of confinement was more tolerable. One of them would also look out and help me with my hair, because I may have had some wigs, but I wasn't really a stylist, so I could definitely have used the help in that area, and she taught me a thing or two about glam, so I was highly appreciative of her. We used to do whatever it took to get ourselves right and keep our spirits alive. I'll call her Glam and her friend Cheeks, being that they stood out to me. She was pretty and slim with the cutest chunky cheeks that were perfect for a good contour and highlight. She kind of reminded me of Janet Jackson. Now, I may not utilize makeup, but as I said, I learned a thing or two over time. We all, including bonkers, would go out and do the most childish shit, yo. Getting tossed and playing tag, because for some reason, everything was funnier when we were lifted and dressed. Unless we had Paul Masson. Then me and Bonkers were different people, because she would get careless and I would get mean because I was so over it. And it's just something with that drink. I don't know. That's when I earned the nickname Pidgey, because my feet slightly turns inward, making me look pigeon-toed. My grandmother would always tell me I get it from my father, and when I took my shoes off, they would stay inward on the floor, having her crack up when she saw them. That's why I make sure to fix them now, because what do I look like a joke to y'all? Anyways, there was one night I'll never forget. We got stopped by 12, and this heifer going past me the bottle, Bonkers I'm speaking of, to hide in my bra, because I was known for smuggling hoagies and snacks in there so we could have food after lockdown. But listen, let me tell you something though. Y'all had to have seen the size of that bottle, and my saucy ass struggling to stuff it. Like, they weren't looking right at me. Why? Just why? Even 12 was laughing at me. I tried to drink some before they took it, but they was fast, okay? You hear me? They was fast. So they done took the goods and dumped our money right in front of my face. The jokes and reactions were priceless, but we were so unserious. You know? They hit us with the tickets and let us go about our business, but dang, that pissed me smooth off for real. And now we were arguing shortly after, because as I said, if you're going to indulge, please leave the poorly alone. Anyhow, come to find out, this girl was love bombing me and was still seeing someone else low-key, and I found out. So I spazzed on her, and the way I despise not having locks on the doors in that place, oh my goodness. I would go to my room instead of linking her, and she would bring her loud, saucy ass downstairs, swinging doors open like we paid rent. That's when I should have known we were in a toxic trauma bond, but I was so toxic myself, low-key, high-key. I love the assertion and the passion that came with her too. Call me crazy, I don't care. I assess myself before telling y'all these stories anyway. Little did she know, as much as I'm a sweetheart, I still have that wolf in me, and I'm only going to talk but so much now. I despise people invading my privacy too. And at that time, I clearly had little to none. She continued to test me, would be belligerently embarrassing sometimes, and would start arguments and then try to sleep in my bed like we weren't in twin-size cots already. The way it would take for me to fight this girl to get her out of my space was so unnerving. It was to a point where staff even knew what was up with us, but me having common sense, I would try to take the fights outside, which I hate to do because it's just mad ratchet and disgusting to me. But something had to give when she was in those modes. But like I said, I hate fighting outside. It's not something that I encourage or condone. Like, yes, I may be ratchet and I have my moments because you can't take the hood out the girl. It is what it is. But yeah, it's a time and place for everything. I don't encourage arguing outside. Like, it's just nasty work. So anyways, like I said, I do not condone or encourage this behavior at all, though. It's not cute. People can get hurt, lose their freedom, and it comes with a spiritual imbalance, too. That's something that a lot of people overlook. There was one night I was so mad she wouldn't leave my bed, but I was tired of fighting, so I just let her sleep her drinks off and noticed her phone was going crazy. I looked, and why was this girl planning to go to a telly that we had chose for ourselves? With that girl she was hiding, and they were talking via email at that. That's when I realized people really would do the most to play in your face and can't be trusted at all. Next thing you know, the girl was calling private and I answered the phone. We were both over it, but clearly not enough. I ended up beating her ass with the phone. You hear me? FaceTime, okay? Because why are you playing with me like we're not both women? Shorty must have went to see her after this because a few days later, that same girl was calling my phone crying and had her mother on the line talking about she know we live together and just wanted clarity because she's tired. Yes, and we do live together right in the shelter, Bookie. Don't let her gas you. I have to fight her to leave me alone, and I'm stuck with her for a while, so you might as well leave while you can. It would give me less of a headache, too, at this point, because my toxic ass was tired of forming new relationships, and she was my favorite little stress reliever anyway, if you catch my drift. Like, we was in there breaking toilets and all, okay? I said I was toxic at the time, too. I take full accountability for my actions, okay? So, we both were fried damn near every day, so there went my lack of clarity again. To deal with all of that, I felt I needed it anyway. We did have a lot of good days too. It truly dominated, honestly, but we would have so much fun. I hated the bad. The bad was horrible. Thankfully, my security classes had started and I was so happy to be more productive and get some freedom from the drama for a while. Oh my gosh, yes. But then let me tell you how she needed to renew her certificate and ended up going to the classes too. I know, guys. I know. It just keeps getting better. I know.